Kiwi, and welcome back to a new episode of Hades 2. It has been a month since I've said that. And today I'm going to be doing a short one just because I have some prior engagements that'll be happening in about 45 minutes. So I've got half an hour to record, and I really wanted to record again. So we're going to just go in order. We'll start with the Trial of Thunder, where we're going to be running light your way through the rain-soaked woods of Erebus using the King of the Olympians' might to destroy all in your path. We're going through Erebus using the aspect of Melanoe and the Cloud Bangle.
Chaos, take me.
Would be odd if we were doing a Trial of Thunder without Zeus in tow.
So strange.
Underworld gods and your ancient ways. I know only that you've done something to shape the course of this evening, for I can feel it in the air. May it be to our benefit.
Alrighty. Oh, wow. Okay, we just get everything to start. Infusion, King's Ransom. Do we have Hera boons? We have one Hera boon. On its own does not seem worth it, but it would be a prophecy. Nah, that's lame. We're going to take Shocking Loss.
Shocking every time.
Objectively better than using the infusion boon. Because I imagine our base damage is already quite high enough without it. Anyway, so this episode is going to be a bit of a break from the Anime Awards ramble that I've been having in the last two episodes. Mostly because I don't have enough time to talk, I think.
My lord husband and Prometheus are not on, shall we say, the best of terms, and that Titan has made clear what he thinks of us goddesses and gods. Yet now we're tolerating him to clean the mess he helped create. Absurd.
So, okay, for a second I thought we were gonna get her duo, but that would be weird. All right, Nexus Sprint is awesome. I will probably take that. Bridal Glow could hit good things. I'm just gonna take Nexus Sprint. I think that's fine.
My strength 3.
And more Zeus boons, heck yeah. So, what have I been up to in the last 2 months where my upload schedule has been fairly irregular? A lot of things. I mean, a lot of it has been just kind of personal engagement as well as just work, so I haven't had time to record. I'm really glad that I was able to make Lorenzo's birthday happen, though, because that is objectively the most important purpose of this channel, right, Kiwi?
Very well.
I accept this gift.
And so that was so much fun. I definitely had to reuse a lot more footage than I wanted to, just because of time constraints. What would have taken me 2 months, if we go by the frame of reference that Lorenz mug.mp4, the first ever Lorenz video I produced was, or it took me a good 2-3 months to produce. Certainly divided around work. So I openly acknowledge that I have gotten a lot faster and more efficient at both my video editing processes and my overall workflow. Certainly, I'm learning the tools of my craft much better, and I'm much faster at troubleshooting them rather than trying and depending on Kiwi to use her Google Foo techniques to find me an answer. Fine line, why not? And then beyond that, I guess really it is a matter of like that whole parasite causing Ash's neck to spring up was so fun to craft, and I have to kind of acknowledge the elephant in the room. It does have kind of a spermatologic appearance to it, but that was not my intent. Honestly, my inspiration was the parasites from the anime Parasite. Funny that, and just basically any intestinal worm that animals have to deal with. Like, I really wasn't trying to make it look sperm-esque. It just, unfortunately, some people are going to draw that parallel, I think. Queen's Ransom would be really funny here and completely useless. Let's get proper upbringing. Do I even have a normal tier boon? Do I have all of the infusions necessary for this? I don't. All right, Rousing Reception, that's fine. And then, I don't need a mid-shop. We can get 2 boons here.
A warding circle.
Thoughtful.
Altogether, gain... Oh, this is so busted. This is one of the best boons. Hera's legendary is absurd. Gain 1 of each element and 1 infusion boon for each element. So, infusion boons are busted in their own right, and they scale with your elements, and she gives you 1 of each element too. So it's just crazy. Let's see what we get. Rallying Cry, Wispy Wiles, Frosty Veneer, Slow Cooker. I can't check here. We'll have to see when I get my next boon, but those are all pretty solid, I believe. I mean, there's no inherently bad... At least I don't believe there's any inherently bad infusion boon, frankly. So, I'm not going to complain here. I'm going to be quite happy with this. Anyway, so yeah, so we... Second.
Oh, enough of this. We must maintain decorum, even in such times as these.
So yeah, I
Can't right now.
I did have to reuse a bunch of footage, but objectively went much faster. And my inspirations were, one, the anime Parasite and just like the movement of parasites that I've seen under microscopes.
Couldn't do it.
And then beyond that, for Ash's springing up neck after he gets, I don't know, what would you call this? Parasitized in I don't know. After Ash has his unfortunate circumstances occur, the springing animation was based on a character named Bellamy from One Piece, because he has the spring fruit, I believe is what it was called, that lets him transform his limbs into springs and go springing off of walls. And later on in the anime, Luffy with Gear 4 gets something similar with his Kong Gatling and his Kong bazookas and such. We're gonna avoid the extra dialogue so I can keep talking. So that was one project, although I managed to finish that in 2 days of kind of like just very focused crunch over the weekend while I wasn't at work. And I'm really proud of that because, again, I definitely couldn't have done that in the past. Zagreus showing up here? Like, is this Zagreus? Maybe it's not. Oh, it's a marker that says up next is the boss. This is the room before the boss room. I really appreciate that they've added that. That is really cool. Proper upbringing may as well take it now. There's no reason not to. Oh yeah, let's look at our infusions that we got. We got 50% more damage, although I need 8 stone or 8 earth and I don't have that, so that's nothing. Plus 4 damage to all attack and special base damage. 10... Okay, so it turns out Hera's Legendary is a little bit lackluster in this payoff only because we can't really benefit from 2 of the ones we rolled. And arguably Slow Cooker isn't doing much for us either, but Wispy Wiles, 26% dodge chance is not bad here. And we'll take the Ash because may as well take the meta progression item before we leave the run.
Fresh as rain. Decided to take a break from all your recent outings to the surface, have you now?
Yes.
There's much to be done, both above and below. You always say the greatest teacher is out there, but I always seem to find her here.
Oh, Mel, you charmer, you.
I taught you nothing of such flattery. One of Odysseus's tricks, perhaps. Let's see what others you have learned.
I regret to inform you, Hecate, you are going to get melted by all of our lightning boons here. Anyway, so yeah, I'm really happy with how that came out. The animation was great. I got to employ some things. Basically, like all of the animation that I try to create is based on things that I have experienced in my time, either playing games or watching anime. And me seeing the patterns, having a vision of what I want to create, and then just lacking the skills and tools to create it without more practice. I'm gonna get hit by this.
Tests your will. Shades on your side.
But with all that said, I'm very pleased with that project. So that was one major undertaking. Granted, it only took 2 days of the 2 months that I'm talking about. What else have I done? So I've gotten into crochet. I crocheted a Psyduck for my sister's graduation.
See you at the crossroads anon. I shall be catching there my breath.
Yeah, I made a Psyduck and Kiwi made a Kirby for my sister's graduation presents, and they came out pretty darn great. We learned that eyes are really hard to crochet, so that was probably the one lackluster point of them, in my opinion. But Kiwi had a very clever workaround for it. In hindsight, I should have done the same, but then it would have been obvious that we were taking a shortcut around the eyes, so I think we're fine with how they came out.
Trial finished.
So that was really
I can
cool.
see even deeper now.
Trial of Flame. Burn through anything and everything that stands in your way as you engulf the Fields of Morning in an inferno of Hestia's making. Fields of Morning, aspect of Moros, everlasting ember. Here we go.
Overcome this.
And this time, I'm not going to take the boon until Chaos has their intro statement, because they always have an intro
Skipped
statement.
me ahead.
The goddess of the heart and the potential of her flames.
Alrighty. So, I guess, do we want to start Poseidon here? We could get his duo. I don't really want any other Poseidon, so yeah, let's take Poseidon's duo. Let's see if we can get his duo first. That's probably the point of this run, is to get Vent, or whatever that extra curse they apply is called. Anyway, so yeah, we crocheted. Kiwi's currently working on a really cool cowl that honestly looks like some sort of red and black assassin with some gold trim is the kind of plan for it. I'm really excited to see how that looks in the end.
You sailed down there faster than the trimmest mortal ship. Well then, what say we scour clean this little corner of the sea?
Let's see, water fitness, not really what I wanted here. Geyser spout. I guess I can use that, but I'm not going to. I'll just take High Surf. I think High Surf gives me the most damage, and I don't need survivability here. I have 170 HP, and I just have to get through Cerberus. That's fine. So yeah, so there's been a lot of crochet of late, And then on top of that, we crafting wise, obviously I've been drawing a little bit. I'm doing some more video editing projects. I have a very silly Breaking Bad theme project in the works that I'm hopeful will come out in the next month or so. Amidst other things, I've been doing some more voice acting. I actually auditioned for a voice acting role for a community fan dub of Nine Souls.
Earlier, I felt the strangest urge to seek you out, dearie. Almost as though it wasn't even me deciding it. Messing with eldritch forces or some such. Well, if you want to gaze into the cold abyss, I'll keep you nice and warm.
How kind of you, Hestia. All right, let's see. Slow cooker, highly flammable, rolled burn. I think we have a lot of ways of applying Scorch. Do we actually, though? Not really. Not really. I guess slow cooker will give us space damage. It really doesn't matter here. So I'll just take it. I'll just take it. There.
That should have done it.
Rare Hestia boon or Poseidon Hestia. I'm just going to take more boons. I think more boons is more valuable than mini boss here. Anyway, so yeah, I auditioned for the role of Eigong in the Nine Souls community fan dubbing project that's currently live on castingcallclub.com. And it sounds like they want to try and keep the voices as true to the original voice as possible, and I don't think I could ever possibly recreate the sound font of Eigong's original voice, but my headcanon for Eigong is objectively Frieza. Scalding Vapor, here we go. If foes with Froth are struck by your fire effects from Hestia, they are engulfed in steam and take an extra 20 damage every 0.2 seconds. Basically, we're going to be melting enemies with this. We're going to absolutely take that, and it checks off a prophecy, which is always welcome too. Where's our golden bow? Somewhere over here, perhaps? No? Anyway, so yeah, I think I killed the audition. Like, I'm really happy with the lines I've submitted. I did a good mix of Eigong's being happy and victorious over her initial discovery of the Roots Regeneration cells and their relation to Valerian cells, I believe it was. And then the desperation and sadness of not being able to find a solution to the ongoing problems around the Tianhuo virus. And then just her sheer madness and the absolute gravitas of, I guess I can try and do it here. Hello. Since the dawn of our race, Solarians were but stupid beasts before the whims of fate, endlessly pursuing our own tails. You should celebrate, because we're about to break out of this cycle and enter the realm of the immortal. How extremely cruel of you. I hoped that by trapping you in your dreams, I could avoid this confrontation. No mentor can bear to end any of their students' lives. Don't make me do it twice. Anyway, I had so much fun auditioning for that, though. I really, really did. And maybe I'll try and upload that take at the end of the video or at the start of the video or something. I'm not sure. I feel like more people should know about this fan dub because I don't really care if I get a role. For me, the biggest outcome of this all is the fact that I auditioned for something which I have never done before, which is really cool. Like, I never in a million years would I actually think I had a chance at attempting to do some sort of voice acted official work. So that is so cool for me. And my goal is just to see the fan dub be the best possible project it can be, whether I'm in it or not. Because I love Nine Souls. Objectively, my favorite game that I played last year. Spoilers for if I ever do the 2025 recap video. We'll see if that ever happens, frankly, because I'm now half a year behind on that. But my gosh, like, just the entire experience from gameplay, narrative, and my own personal narrative and the progression of my voice acting. I wouldn't call career, I would call hobby at best, but it was just so fun. It was so satisfying to kind of learn and practice and improve on. So,
there we go.
was a good time. Was objectively a good time. And I'm really hopeful to see how this fan dub goes. I mean, it's a fan dub. There's no guarantee it will even actually get produced, I suppose. I have no reason to think it won't at this stage, but you kind of have to set expectations when it's a random group of people online, because it's so hard to coordinate a group of, like, individuals who are all living their own lives, you know? Especially if they're not meeting at the same workplace sort of thing. I think I'll just take Flash Fry here.
One more.
Anything to upgrade Slow Cooker for more damage. Where is our last thing? Over here. So yeah, that's an exciting thing. Yeah, I'll try and I'll put the audition somewhere here, and I'll try and, like, just incorporate a picture of the lines that I'm reading so you can see the scenes that they're from if I can find them. At the very least, I'll just include the last one, I think, because that one I think is my best set of takes. They're so good. What else have I been doing? So I think the biggest time sink and the least cool thing that I did, probably, if I'm being objective about it, is I got temporarily re-addicted to League of Legends again. ARAM Mayhem was sheer chaos and fun, and a very big time sink, and so I basically had the choice of play leagues and enjoy my little personal time with that and reconnect with some friends on League of Legends, or record, and I chose the former for a little bit. Just, I needed a break, so I'm fine with it.
Poseidon's blessing done you any favors yet this eve? Mike's claiming it'll make you nigh invincible, but here's a little traveler's insurance just in case.
But I was playing it too much, so I decided as soon as I basically gave up League of Legends for Leagues of RuneScape. Basically, once RuneScape had its League 6 event, I pretty much completely quit League of Legends and switched back into RuneScape, which will always be my longest and greatest time sink. Let's see. I guess it doesn't matter. I'll just take main streak. And that's really where a lot of my time has been missed, where I've been the last 2 months, is just grinding out leagues. I wanted to get Dragon Cup. For what it's worth, though, I did actually record the entire process, more or less every achievement that I got in some way. I recorded either a commentary over or direct footage of, and maybe one day I will splice it all together and upload it as a finished project on this channel as like a really, really, really long video for Kiwi to fall asleep to. I certainly think it's an option, and I don't know how likely it is that I'm going to do that, because it's like, I think I got up to 600 to 800 clips, and some of them are maybe a couple seconds long, and many of them are upwards of an hour, because that is how RuneScape do. Guess none of these are really good. We'll just take Hydraulic Might, I guess. I could have rerolled there. It doesn't matter. It's a trial. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I did a lot with leagues, and I had a lot of fun. And it was cool because Kiwi didn't want to join me for leagues this year, which was fine. But she did help me kind of do administrative things. She helped me make lists and checklists through an Excel spreadsheet so that I could add notes of this is the order of which I want to do things. Oh, okay, we're just immediately going. I gotcha. So it was really nice to have a way to do leagues even without Kiwi, but still have her some degree of involved. So I was happy with that. I had a lot of fun with leagues too. Like, I unlocked 2 new regions that I've never done in leagues before. So I got to learn 2 different raids and a bunch of different bosses. I finally learned some skilling content that I've wanted to do for a while. The big agility training arena called the Hallowed Sepulchre. I wouldn't say I mastered, but I definitely got a very fundamental understanding, and can very confidently say if I were to do it in Mainscape once I finally decide to do so, I shouldn't have too much of an issue doing that. So it was a fun, chill experience. I got to reconnect with some friends on RuneScape as well, so all in all, a good time.
The dreaded Hound of Hell assumes again a shape so sinister as scarce can be described.
Beast Soothed. But yeah, I think those are all the major events. I'm sure there are others that I'm completely forgetting. I mean, obviously I'm back at work and working pretty regularly now, so my free time is definitely taken up a bit.
Return to Shadow now.
But yeah, I intend to be back.
This possibility exists.
I feel like I'm ready to upload more regularly again. I took the break I needed, and now I am refreshed. I had my fun doing a bunch of other creative things. Oh, you know what we have been doing? Let's do one more trial. I've got enough time. Trial of Slaughter. Tear through the infested city of Ephira using the heaviest of the nocturnal arms and the backing of the war god Ares. City of Ephira, aspect of Melanoe, and Sword Hilt. Let's go.
Into the abyss.
So one other fun thing that I have been doing is Kiwi and I have been reading Witch Hat Atelier. The anime... I can let Chaos say their thing. Aw, we gave Ares a present.
There is a stir of something different in the air tonight. You feel it too, yes? The sense of great and ancient possibility. Let us bring it into being through sheer force.
Alright, what do we got? Grievous Split. What do we start with? We start with his attack and his mana regen. Basically, we're kind of building into Plasma. By the way, Kiwi, in the time I was away, they did a huge update and they finally made Ares kind of busted. They updated a bunch of his boons and made them way stronger. For example, originally Wounds was really weak. 40% more damage once. Your attacks deal more damage and inflict wounds. Wounds. You strike has plus 50 power when inflicting this, can be reapplied after 3 seconds. So that one hit is really strong, and then you have to wait 3 seconds before you can use it again. So it's really good for initial burst, but really falls off against bosses. But bows with wounds may suffer 200% damage when struck. Basically, we get a 16% crit chance on any enemy that is inflicted by wounds. That alone makes wounds incredibly strong. And then there are just more. Mutual destruction was already a thing, but here, read this. Gain a chance to deal 200% damage, so again, a crit. That increases the less HP you have remaining, gaining 0.14% per missing life point. If you were really tanky, you could get this really high. And keep in mind, this is not crit. It's the same damage scaling as crit, but it is separate, which means these can actually stack on each other. So 200% from this, 200% from this, 200% from critting if you have any crit chance, means that Ares has a huge damage potential. Sure, it's RNG dependent, and that is something to absolutely acknowledge. But yeah, Ares got a lot better. They also updated how his plasma mechanic works, so it's way more reliable and way more reasonable to actually build around now. I don't exactly know the details of it, but we'll certainly find out more about it as we play further. Or, I mean, in this alone, perhaps, when you have it, I don't think I need this. Sword Ring is whatever. Specials inflict wounds. Let's save our special for another god if we can. I'll take Sword Ring, I suppose. But anyway, so Kiwi and I have started reading Witch Hat Atelier. We're currently, at time of speaking, the Witch Hat anime is airing. Neither of us has watched it. I very much intend to watch it myself, even if Kiwi doesn't want to join me on it, because it sounds like it's been very beautifully animated, but the manga itself has been phenomenal. The magic system is probably one of the most fun to play with magic systems I've ever seen in any media that I've encountered, because it's I don't know, I don't necessarily have the best understanding of hard versus loose magic systems, or hard versus soft magic systems. I assume this would be considered a hard magic system because it has very like fundamental rules that control its use, but it's the sort of magic system that anyone could learn. And that is on face level, that is a very important narrative comment as well. The whole point is that the witches of this world who conjure magic don't let the lay people, the commoners, the outsiders, that's the word they use for them, know about how their magic works, because anyone could use it, and their fear is just the consequences of giving unbridled, unlimited power to the masses, which is justifiable. I feel like if anyone could make a nuclear warhead, we would not have a world to live on. Granted, magic is obviously not that and offers a lot more than just destructive power, but the idea is that it only takes one bad intended use to just cause a lot of destruction and chaos. Meat Grinder. I think we'll take his dash. And so, like, I use a very extreme example there, but the idea is that I think that is honestly the fear that is ingrained in the people who are upholding these principles of the witches, is that they worry that someone could and would choose to do that. But the point being is, like, on a base level, the magic system that this world invokes is so, like, intuitive. Well, I don't think they've given the reader enough, like, tools to really cast their own spells necessarily. But it strikes me as something that is very much almost like coding. If you learn the proper place for a piece of code in the correct order, you can basically do whatever you want, and it's really, really fun to play with in that mentality. So I think it is a really cool world setting, a really cool bit of world building. The antagonists are the sort that you get the sense are definitely a bit twisted, but you also can, in some ways, empathize with them, because they want to bring magic to the masses and invoke the magic of old days, which allowed spells to be cast on humans, which on one hand could lead to terrible, egregious atrocities, but also would allow people to be healed with magic instead of having to depend on doctors. Like, one of the rules of this world is doctors cannot be witches, because there's just the powers that be, the principles that uphold everything in this world, would not allow that. Oops, I forgot you have an attack behind you. Go ahead, toss those guys out. I still haven't really learned how to deal with this boss very well, unfortunately. Let's try and use this. I think, honestly, my base attack might be higher DPS now because I have all the attack speed from the plasma. I'm not sure. I don't play Axe enough to really understand what is the optimal pattern other than dash attack into special, because that is just like the fastest DPS at base.
In the name of Hades.
We're really not getting his fun boons. I'll just take his special, I guess.
Strength of Earth.
And now we have Rallying Cry, so we do 50% more damage. But yeah, Witch Hat Atelier has been a phenomenal read. It's really been fun to share it with Kiwi and kind of theorize what's going to happen next, which characters we like. My favorite character is definitely El Rugio or El Rugio. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, but he is absolute mom. He is definitely the mom character. And I feel like if I were in this world, I would fill a similar role to El Rugio, or I'm going to call him El Rugio because it sounds fancy, but it's probably El Rugio. I'll watch the anime and get pronunciation on all of these characters' names that I don't know how to pronounce one day. But just, I like that so many of the contraptions, the little automated magic contraptions that he makes, are focused on just minor conveniences for people. Stepping stones that light up when you walk on them, rings that keep you warm, or offer a little bit of a light. Like, it's all little things that just add a small quality of life buff sort of thing. And I think that's really cool. I think that's a really cool way to engage with this world. Is you're not necessarily building bridges or leaving large marks on the world, but you're taking the individual needs, like minor individual needs, and making them your priority and creating little solutions to them. And that's the funnest thing about this world, watching all the characters interact, is like we're currently reading through the chapters centered around what's called Silver Eve, a big witches festival. And it's just fun to see all the little contraptions that the apprentice witches are coming up with kind of that in mind. Things that can improve, can help people. Like, that's the entire ethos of magic in the apprentice's eyes. It's the purpose of magic is to bring happiness to others. It's a really cool little... I'm thinking, what do I want? Do I want Unga Bunga or Omega Attack? Let's go Unga Bunga. It fits better with Ares.
Enchanted for the night.
Just it's such a cool magic system and such a fun magic system to theory craft in your brain, as well as like just conceptualize the parts of this world that go against our individual worldviews. For Kiwi and I in particular, just there's a lot of issue taken with how the access to medical care and the solutions to major medical problems are very much a medieval, slightly better perhaps, medieval medical system at best. And it's just, it does feel like the rules that hold society together in this world are almost very easily abandoned in some instances. For example, just how you're not allowed to use any magic on humans except for memory erasing magic, which is definitely a violation of the principles by any other metric. Like, they make exceptions for convenience, and like they justify them well enough that I can let them slide to a degree, but you can definitely feel that their principles have too many exceptions in weird ways, and in other ways they're super rigid to the point of just not making sense. Like, they're so rigid about their... Oh, hey, his new legendary. When you inflict wounds with 100 extra base damage, and his plasma is now automatically drawn to you. Okay, so originally it was just plasma is automatically drawn to you, and I think your cap for plasma was increased. Giving wounds an extra base 100 damage is kind of nutty, because that will scale so crazy well with any percent damage bonuses like origination, like the Huntress, I suppose, might that work with, perhaps. Certainly the Furies it would scale with, so like a lot of base damage there. Ooh, that's good.
Farewell, Lord Charon. Now
it's a proper legendary. Used to be kind of whatever.
Oh, hey, the origin of all existence wanted me to let you know. You're just not cutting it, and the whole deal is off. I also get to eat you now.
How very chaotic of them.
I find it exceedingly difficult to believe that primordial chaos would have been in contact with you about such matters. Easier to believe this is all part of the current trial.
If this is all part of some trial, that makes me the judge. And I hereby declare your dinner. That is, unless you or your pal, Primordial Chaos, plan to do something about it.
Interesting bit of dialogue there. But I guess I like to believe that Chaos did in fact talk to Polyphemus here and tell him exactly that. It would be funny. It would be very on brand for Chaos to be so chaotic, you know? living up to their namesake, if nothing else. Anyway, so yeah, that is largely all the fun that I have to share right now. Also, I guess I can just briefly say ReZero's 4th season has been absolutely fire this year. I didn't dislike the 3rd season, but I didn't connect with it in ways that the 1st and 2nd one really hit me. And the 4th one has just been phenomenal, just creating scenarios that I hadn't really expected, but are so interesting to see how they develop now. And I just watched episode 11 for context, which, my goodness, what an emotional throughput and like resolution of this season's character arc for Subaru. Oh my goodness, I could gush about that episode, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet.
Mission complete.
Apparently, the original author, I think Taipei Nagaki, maybe, or something like that. Forgive me, I'm not good at names. I honestly started crying when they were crying at watching this episode, because it just did such a good job for the source material, representing it, and in all ways, oh my goodness, it was just so good, Kiwi. It was so good.
We all saw you disappear into that pitch black stone. Another means by which you may spring into action, retaining the element of surprise. Pretty nice.
That stone has been here all this time. It's so much more than a monument to night, and its origins even more ancient. But I never considered it a weapon in our arsenal.
Well, not like you can crack me over the head with it, but yeah.
I feel like Mel could probably pick this up and bonk him. I mean, look at these statues. She's super buff, right? If she can lift that giant cauldron full of water, I don't see why she couldn't lift up the pitch black stone. But yeah, it's good to be back, Kiwi, and I know I said that the last time I took a big break and then I stopped uploading again, so take it with a grain of salt if you have to. But I expect I'm going to be uploading fairly regularly again, probably not every day, but much more on a multiple days a week sort of basis is my goal. I'll have to navigate that around work, of course, so we'll see how it plays out, but definitely more frequent than I have been before. I am ready to be back, and I have missed this, and I am so happy to be back too. That said, look forward to more Hades 2, some more Katamari. I have a Switch 2 on its way, and once I get that, there's definitely going to be a Pokopia playthrough at some point or another, and whatever other nonsense animated and other things that I decide on a whim to make. I have a couple projects that are cooking, mostly theory crafting stage, with a couple others more in the animation stage right now. We'll look forward to that too. But Kiwi, in the next episode, I will go back to talking about my final thoughts on the anime awards. I know they're over. They've been over for a month now, but I still have my nominations and votes for the final third of the contenders, and I have some fun thoughts. But with all that said, Kiwi, at long last, I can say this again. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and someone's car alarm's going off, and I will see you in the next one. Sleep well, my love. I'm happy to see you again. Well, I never stopped seeing you, but you know what I mean. I'm happy to not see you while playing video games while seeing you see me.
I have returned.
Yeah, exactly, Skelly. Skelly gets it. I have returned. Bye. Nailed that outro.